Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is a little bit of an impromptu live stream that I decided to do, and I'm doing this live stream for a couple of reasons. One, I am going to follow up on some recommendations that some subscribers made to me during yesterday's live stream. I take suggestions. I always like to say that I'm receptive and responsive. And so I took some suggestions from people on two comics to read. I have read those comics. I'm going to give you my opinions of them. And then I'm going to show you an AOK. That is another comic book that is a departure from anything that I normally read. And just maybe there will be a giveaway. Maybe there will be a giveaway in this live stream because it's fun. Because it is fun to give stuff away. That's why we're going to do it. And so hopefully folks will be able to join the live stream here so we can get rocking and rolling. I see a few people rolling in. So let me say hello to some comic book soldiers that have joined me here in the room. Kyler is in the house. Azur is here. How you doing, brother? Chris Barrett is here. Another Chris is here. The army of Chris's are in the house. Connecting Comics is here. Scrolling down, Scott is in the house. It's good to see you, brother. And Randy is also here. What does he say? A good read is Superman Red Sun. If you haven't read it yet, my favorite. So I'm going to tell you, one of the things that I look for sometimes with recommendations is the consistency in the recommendations. And so far, that is one of those books that has repeatedly been recommended by people. So I'm actually going to write this one down. And no promises, can't make promises. But there is a certain level of consistency that I like to acknowledge and honor, and people have been recommending this Superman Red Sun. So we'll see what's up with that. Tom Garcia, the winner. Tom Garcia is one of our recent winners of the Go Collect giveaway. This is not Comic Tom. This is just another person that coincidentally is named after one of the very popular YouTubers out there. Tom, it's good to see you, brother. Joshua is in the house. Felix is here. How you doing? Ramos is in the house, as is Ray. BD Sexton 13 is in the house. Hialeah Comic Bro is here. He says once in future is amazing. Chris is shouting out Daredevil. We are focused on Superman, my friend. So teasing. So I am going to give you guys a quick little download on two comics that were recommended to me during yesterday's live stream by subscribers that I've actually read. And I'll give you my opinions of them. I don't want to try to spoil it for people because one of them is a relatively new comic, so I definitely don't want to spoil it for folks. I want to tell you about another comic that showed up here at my house from a subscriber that is a departure from anything that I normally read. And I rather enjoyed it. So I want to tell you guys about that. I want to read the wonderful note that came with it. And then we may also be giving away a comic book as well for those, or we'll just call it, we'll give away a comic book to folks that are here in the room. So you have to be in the room to actually win this giveaway, and you'll have a choice. You'll have a choice. So we'll leave it at that. John's Comics with Kids. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you, my friend. All right. So the first book that I read, which was a recommendation from someone here in the room during yesterday's live stream, was a Vampire State Building. Vampire State Building from, I think it's a Blaze. I think that's the name of the company. I think it's a Blaze. Let me look it up to make sure. I had this set and then I started to play around on Instagram and lost my spot. So it is a Blaze Publications. A Blaze Pub is what they go by on Instagram. They have 41 posts, a whopping 493 followers, and they're following 110 people. They say that they're a publisher of hot comics, GNS, and more, bringing some of the best content from all corners of the globe to readers worldwide. One of the things that I think is really cool about them is that they are actually working with the guy that did a lot of the artwork for The Walking Dead, which is it's an interesting coincidence. And I'll explain why I said that in a moment. But the Vampire State Building, I think it is a mini series, I think of like 3 issues or something like that. I had a chance to read issue 1. It was good. I'm gonna be honest with you. I dig vampires in general, right? So horrible, movies about vampires, Nosferatu. I watch all that stuff, right? But someone recommended this comic. I had never heard of it before. I actually looked it up, and it was actually pretty good. I had a chance to read it earlier. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I promptly sent messages to one of my local comic shops and was like, get 2 and 3 for me as well, so that I can also have those in the collection. But this Ablaze Publications or Ablaze Media, however you want to refer to them, they seem to be like a startup. They seem to be a startup publishing house. This is actually, I think, their very first comic that they have come out with. And I think there's like a person that is organizing all this stuff, and he's tapped into a pool of investors who have, brought forth money to basically do a publishing house for comics. And this first one out of the gate, Vampire State Building issue #1, was a good read. And the artist is a guy that works on The Walking Dead. And so I don't know that you can really go wrong with that, but I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it. It was an easy read. There were vampires. And it wasn't your standard vampire stuff. There were actually some twists and turns to it that I thought were unique. A different kind of vampire story, which I think is hard given that vampires and Dracula and all this stuff has been around forever. There were some interesting twists and turns to this thing that I didn't see coming, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. They're coming out with some really cool covers, like a glow-in-the-dark cover and some other stuff. They're like doing a recreation of like Spider-Man #1 from the 90s. So I think that's really cool, but definitely a good read. If you guys haven't read, I definitely want to encourage you to pick it up and to read it, and then let me know what you think. And their Instagram handle is, what did I say it was? It was Ablaze Pubs or something like that. Let me check it. ABAZE Pub. Ablaze Pub is what they are on Instagram, and they have like a handful of followers. So I immediately followed them on Instagram and also Twitter. So definitely, if you get a chance to check them out, please do. So let me scroll through and see what folks are talking about. What is this? Near Dark? I don't know that I've seen that. Have I seen Near Dark? I don't know that I've seen that one. It's sometimes, I'm gonna be honest with you, if I see vampire in the title, I just watch it and I might not always remember the titles. So I don't know that I've read that one, Mikey. But I definitely appreciate recommendations, my friend. So let me see. Mr. Comic 89, how you doing, brother? Apologies for not getting back to you quicker. I needed to go live, so I kind of haven't responded back to you yet. Thank you very much for that. Here we go, Mark. I'm gonna ask you to take 1G out of that. You have to drop 1G. Just 1G, my friend. Just drop 1. But Vampire State is definitely a good read. I enjoyed it. When I read the title, I was like, Vampire State Building, like, okay, it has something to do with the Empire State Building, so it's going to be based in New York. I mean, you can surmise that from the title, but it was actually a pretty good read. So Mark agrees. This is not something that I would normally pick up in a comic shop. I'm going to be honest with you, because I'm into spandex. So I go right to specifically the Marvel spandex, right? I go right there to my section and I don't deviate from that, but I am very glad that some people recommended this to me yesterday, because I had a chance to read it and I definitely enjoyed it. It's got to be good based upon the pun alone. Well done. Ruben, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Scrolling down through some of the names, see what else you guys are talking about. Good pick, Mikey. Near Dark is solid, is what John's Comics with Kids is saying. Somebody says, don't watch Twilight, brother. I did. I watched Twilight. I watched them all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm telling you, I watch. If it has vampires, I watch it. Ruben, how you doing, brother? Drop 1G. 1G. Just drop 1. Thank you, Ramos. I definitely appreciate that. My man checked out the video that I dropped earlier today. So, I want you guys to think. Someone was like, I don't always agree with you, but at least when I watch your videos, I'm oftentimes prompted to think. And at the end of the day, that's a win. At the end of the day, if I can get somebody to do a couple of things, if I can get somebody to that has maybe had a bad day or a hard day, not feel the pressure or the stress associated with that day, to maybe think a little, to have a little fun. If I can do those things, I'm good. My mission has been accomplished. So Mark's blaming his fat finger. It's all good. I'm just giving you a hard time. So there we go. Ablaze Publications, Vampire State Building. If you have not read this, I definitely want to encourage you guys to read it because I definitely enjoyed it. The other thing that someone recommended that I read, because I was talking about Superman. If you guys watched yesterday's live stream, the Ready, Set, Go preview show, which airs every Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, I was talking about Superman. And I was talking about the fact that I have never really read Superman. I had really no interest in Superman. And for me, as a Marvel guy, there's a couple of people that jump out at me. Like Batman jumps out at me as a character that I'm intrigued by. From watching the TV show, The Flash was a character that I was kind of sort of intrigued by, but I had never read his stuff until 2 days ago when I read it. And I was like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty good stuff, right? And I mean, I started out with Flash #1, read it from the 60s, actually enjoyed it. I'm like, I can get on board with reading Flash, right? I might be a Flash fan, right? How big of a fan? I don't know. We'll see. But the Superman thing with him revealing his identity coming up in, I think it's I left my notes somewhere. It's December 11th, Superman #18, if memory serves. He is going to be revealing his secret identity again, right? Because they did it once before. I started to ask myself these questions around, do people even read Superman? Do people even care what Superman is all about, right? And that was like the point of yesterday's conversation on the live stream. So if you haven't watched that, you may want to check that out. But some folks recommended that I read All-Star Superman. And so I read All-Star Superman 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to be honest with you. I enjoyed it. I honestly enjoyed it. I wasn't blown away by anything that I read, but I enjoyed it. And sometimes at the end of the day, if you had a long, hard day, you just want to be entertained. And I was entertained, so much so that I read basically, I think I read 3 issues. I think I read 3 issues in a row because they're also a quick read. And this is the issue where Superman actually is basically dying. He is dying, and he has also revealed his secret identity to Lois Lane. And so it was a pretty cool thing to kind of read. And like I said, I actually enjoyed it. I don't think the artwork is good. I think the artwork is I'm trying to not say the word terrible. The artwork is okay. I think the artwork could be better. But I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed reading a little bit about Superman. And again, the only time I've ever really been even exposed to Superman was while reading some Batman stuff, and Superman happened to be there, you know? But I enjoyed this. So I enjoyed 1, 2, and 3, and I'll probably read a couple more to see how this thing is going to go. And then I may actually go back and read the original Superman from back in the day. I would like to read like the original Action Comics 1 kind of stuff, digitally, of course, because that's the only way that I'm actually going to be able to read it. But I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be cool to check it out. So let me see. What is this? Blade is the best because he's both a vampire movie and it's a Marvel movie. Can't go wrong with Blade. Can't go wrong with that. Big Wheel is talking about Red Sun. See, I'm telling you, there is something to be said about the consistency of recommendations. It's probably the 7th person or so that has told me about Red Sun. So there's probably something there as well. So we'll have to check that out. Mark, I apologize, brother. It was purely accidental. So I'll take it down. No, it's all good, brother. It happens more often. It happens more often than not that I get the double G's. So John's Comments with Kids says All-Star Superman is a good read. Very good Morrison work. Yeah, and that is a thing. It is done by Grant Morrison. And when I first looked at this thing, it says Man of Steel across the top in theaters. So I was like, oh man, I'm about to read a movie adaptation. And I don't think it is a movie adaptation. But again, All-Star Superman #1 through 3 were actually pretty darn good. So I'm definitely pleased about that. Bubs Comics is in the house. How you doing, brother? Welcome to the live stream. Scrolling down through the comments here. Here we go. Batman's cousin is saying, Cousin Wayne, I'm guessing, is saying, keep going, Reggie. All-Star is just getting good. He's about to head to work. So thank you for stopping by, brother. Thank you for the co-sign of All-Star Batman. We're going to keep digging into this thing and see what happens. So you mean you're going to drop a mail? No, Scott, let's be super clear. Let's be super clear about this, Scott. I'm going to read a digital copy. No mills. No mills will be spent here. No mills at all. Yeah. So I sat down. I sat down with this Superman, and I saw Grant Morrison, and I saw the title, and it was like a warm cup of cocoa. Hashtag warm cup of cocoa. If you guys don't know the reference, you have to watch yesterday's live stream because we were cutting up. We were cutting up yesterday during the live stream. Oh my goodness. You know what? Here's the thing. I actually had witches in my collection. I actually picked up a collection from a guy in Oakland, California. Copeland. Picked up a collection from him. He actually worked at Image, and he had all of the witches in there, and I sold it all. Sold it all shortly after I got it. Never even bothered to even really look into it. Sold it. So anyway, I have year one. I think I have year one actually on the shelf back there. That leather bound book right there. I think that is year one, if memory serves. I have not read it yet, but I will get around to it. I'm trying to spread it around, right? I'm reading some Batman. I'm reading some Flash. I'm reading some Superman. I'm reading some non-traditional spandex stuff, So I am definitely trying to see what's out there. So who is this? I've never read a Superman comic, so these suggestions. There you go. There you go. So we are going to spread a little love and get Superman some love as we get closer to December 11th, Superman number 18, when he reveals his secret identity. Maybe a couple of people will actually think about picking it up. But yeah, this Superman All-Star was pretty good. And now we're hearing Red Sun may be another good read. My man, John Langford actually sent me an email earlier today with some additional recommendations. So I'm going to have to check some of that stuff out and see what's up. All right. So let me, I want to read this letter to you guys. I want to read the letter to you. And if you are here in the room, stay tuned because we are actually going to be doing a giveaway and you have to be in the room to actually win the giveaway. But I received this letter from a guy by the name of J.R. Harris, and his website is jrcomicart.com, jrcomicart.com. And JR sent this letter to me, and he says he is a comic book illustrator from Michigan, the Mitten, where I am from. He said, I want to first say that I love watching your videos. My friend, Mr. Bailey, told me about your channel. Your channel is a blast, and you bring a fun personality to the world of comics. I've learned quite a bit from your videos, especially the Spider-Man black costume appearances. I've been telling a lot of my comic book friends about your channel and have heard nothing but a good reception, which I think is great. So JR, thank you for that, brother. He says, I have sent you a couple of copies of my newest comic book, Henry Graves, The Story of the Piano. It's his first adventure of paranormal investigator Henry Graves. I drew huge inspirations from comic book artists Mike Mignola and Sean Murphy, as well as folklore from around the world. The book was just released in September, and it is already on its way to a second printing. It says he also threw in a set of pre-order prints for me, et cetera, et cetera. So I sat down and I read the Henry Graves in The Story of the Piano by Mr. J.R. Harris. This is the book right here. Sat down and read this thing, and it was good. It was honestly good for a self-published comic. Now let me restate. It was a good comic, and the quality for a self-published comic is actually impressive. And I'm not just talking about the artwork and the writing. I'm also talking about the material. This thing is actually, it's pretty solid material. This comic is in really nice shape. I mean, nice artwork. Let me see if I can actually show this. Some of that cool artwork. I mean, it's like a retro piece, you know what I'm saying, that he created here. And it is actually pretty darn good. I sat here in one basic reading and finished reading this comic. And I enjoyed it. I don't know how many pages are in here. He has some sketch art in the back. I actually dug that. There's some sketch art in the back here where you can actually see some of the design elements of the characters, the accoutrement that they carry. He kind of goes through some of that. For a nice size book. I mean, you can see the size of this thing. It was a quick read. And so huge shout out to my man JR for sending this over to me. And again, I think you can probably pick this up at his website. What is it? JR Comics Art. JR Comic Art. I'll try to put a link in the description, and I'll show you guys this. These are some of the prints that he sent over to me. They are little small prints that pull elements from this comic book that this dude has put together. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for people that have artistic talent, whether you're talking about a writer or an artist. But I also have a tremendous amount of respect for people that have a bias for action, that have a dream, and that actually bring that dream to life. And J.R. Harris is definitely one of those guys, because this is a dope comic. I give you guys a copy, but I'm actually going to keep both for myself. When this dude hits it big, I need to have doubles. So huge shout out to JR for hooking me up with a pretty cool comic, and shout out to Mr. Bailey, who is who follows the channel, recommended JR to check me out. I want to thank him as well for that recommendation. Does it have a Marvel value stamp? It has wonderful artwork and high quality paper that doesn't have bindery tears like so many Marvel books. How about that? there is no value stamp in here. No, not that I noticed. There's a QR code back there. I saw that. This thing is cool though. Again, if you guys are interested in some independent kind of stuff, jrcomicart.com. Check it out. It says that book looks amazing. Was hoping that was the giveaway. No, brother. You can't have that. You can't have that. Kyler, that's mine. As an owner, Herbzilla says, as an owner of a classic grand piano, I'm interested in that book. I'm telling you, it's actually pretty good. Does it have a centerfold intact? Yeah, the centerfold is intact. The Marvel value stamp, if it had one, it would probably be intact as well. No bindery tears. I'm going to probably give this thing, honestly, I mean, the back cover shows some signs of wear. There is maybe a spine tick on this copy that I actually put there as I was reading this comic. So I'm going to probably give this one probably an 8.5. I'm going to go with an 8.5 just because it may have also been slid across the desk. Yeah, so we're going to go with an 8.5. I think the other one that is still in the plastic that has been untouched by human hands other than Mr. J.R. Harris is probably going to be a much higher grade. What does it retail for? I don't know. You guys are asking some really good questions. You're going to make me go to his website. All right, let's go to his website real quick. Let's pull this thing down and let's try to go to his website. What did I say? jrcomicart.com. You guys can't see me typing, but I will show you the website in a second. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Give the JR a little extra love. Where is it? Where did I put that thing? There we go. Show you this one. So there you go. You can go ahead and see J.R. Harris Comics and Illustrations. Inktober is here. 31 days, 31 drawings. A lot of stuff going on. Here we go. Book now available here. A 48-page. Wow, I read that quickly. Wow, 48-page. Read the sneak peek here. You can check that out. A little bit of a description. Again, this dude's artwork. I mean, look at the artwork. It is really well drawn. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I ever decide to do a comic, this is the kind of guy I want to work with because he'll make me look good. So let's see. Is it going to tell us $15? $15 is the price for Henry Graves' The Story of the Piano comic book graphic novel. 48 pages. Whoa, it says one left. Wow. Handmade, one left. So this is probably why he said that it was actually headed towards a second print. So there you go. There you go. Graphic novel, T for teens, a little bit of violence there, but it's definitely a cool book. So if you guys get a chance, hopefully the second print will be available soon. And I'm sure that you can send him an email if you're really truly interested. jrcomicart@gmail.com is his email address. He's like, let me know what you think. I think I'm gonna just send him a link to this video and be like, there you go, brother, watch that. Monte Vista, my man Monte Vista. Monte Vista won last night's Go Collect giveaway. He won a Venom 3 double signed by Donnie Cates and Ryan Stegman, 9.8 white pages. That book, sir, was that mailed out to you? That book was mailed out to you today. My wife dropped that off, I do believe. No, I am telling a story. That book is sitting out in the room right here and will be mailed out to you tomorrow. So congratulations, Monte Vista, for picking that up. I actually don't have a P.O. box, man. So if you send me an email, let me know. Send me an email to regiecollects@gmail.com. I can give you my address and all that kind of stuff. REGIE collects@gmail.com. I'll hook it up for you, brother. Chris Barrett, stop being cheap. There is no $15 promo code. Stop being cheap. Just buy the book, brother. Show the other members of the comic book community some love. I know you've got 15 bucks over there. What does it say? That is in blood on the piano. That's where the Gibbon spilled his cranberry. Oh, you guys are nuts. You guys are nuts. I need a fan because I am starting to sweat back here. He says, stopping in for a second and say hi, you need to subscribe. So yeah, shout out to you, Burke family, brother. Scrolling down, I'll tell the wife thanks, man. She actually probably hears me because she's probably sitting in the room out here, right outside this room. So, all right. So that was the other thing that I wanted to do, was to do a little shout out for JR. If you guys are coming in late, I basically talked about my thoughts on All-Star Superman, which I read issues 1 through 3. Enjoyed the story, did not enjoy the art. But enjoyed the Superman for the first time ever. And then I also shared my thoughts on Vampire State Building? Vampire State Building from Ablaze Comics. Definitely a good read, a book that I will continue to read. I think it's a 3-issue miniseries. Vampire State Building from Ablaze. If you guys haven't checked that out, I definitely want to encourage you to do that. All right. So the next thing that I want to show you, let me close a couple of windows here to make my life just a little easier. I want to show you guys something. And as I mentioned earlier, if you are just now coming into the live stream, we are actually going to do a giveaway here in the room. And the first thing that I want to show you, this giveaway is actually sponsored by these guys right here, 3204 Auctions. A guy by the name of Jerry is the owner of this place, specializes in offering a variety of products, including CGC and CBCS graded books. So this is his website or his storefront on eBay. So this is here, nothing but 9.8s in here. And the reason why this dude has nothing but 9.8s is because of what I am about to show you right now. And I think a couple of you have actually taken advantage of this already. I want to say maybe 7 or 8 of you have already taken advantage of this already. And it is this service right here. It is the 9.8, it is the CGC 9.8 subscription service. And as Jerry describes it right here, he says the best way to get CGC 9.8 graded comics, and these are new comics that you can actually get. And so the way that this service works is that you basically buy credits. Credits are $39.99. You select the comics that you want, and these are new comics that are coming out. Mostly the main covers, the B covers, the second prints are your annuals, right? No variants, no back issues, right? So it's the new stuff that are coming out. You buy your credits for $39.99. You select the comics that you want Jerry to go out and get for you. Jerry goes out, he finds those books, he sends those books into CGC. He tries to secure as best he can 9.8s on your behalf. And when the books come back in, if they are 9.8s, you get those books. If they're not 9.8s, you're under no obligation. You pay for 9.8s and they're $39.99. If the price of the book that you get goes up while it's at CGC, after you've made your selection, you still pay $39.99. So it's a great way to be able to get some really solid books, right? And you can see some additional details right here on the website. But if you go to cgcsubscription.com, there's all kinds of details here. So it's 1 credit is equal to $39.99. You pay for your shipping. Shipping is, you can see the rates here, basically $12.99 for a couple of books in Canada. So there you go. There are all the details that you need. And so what we are doing, and there's also, I should point out, there's this really cool video here. So if you have like questions, you can either email Jerry, you can watch this video. It gives you all the details that you want to need. But like I said, a handful of you guys have already signed up for this program and are definitely taking advantage of it. So I'm going to put the links, and actually the links are in the description already, but we are going to do a giveaway. We're going to do a giveaway. And your options are this. If you answer the question, because we're going to do a trivia question, Kyler, if you and Chris Barrett, there you go. We're going to do a giveaway. And so if you are able to answer the trivia question correctly, you will have your choice of two things. You will have your choice of getting a gift certificate for $20. This gift certificate is redeemable for the store. Let me make sure. Good towards any $30 plus item offered at his store, which is 3204auctions.com, which is basically the eBay store that I just showed you, right? So you can get $20 off there, or you can get what's missing from the wall. If you guys remember, I showed you that I had some things on the wall that I put up there, and at least one of those things was going to be a giveaway. It's right here. This is the book that is actually going to be given away, and you can choose. You can choose either the Slab 9.8 Walking Dead Image Comics. This is Walking Dead Free Comic Book Day 2013 special from Image Comics, or you get the gift certificate. And so the choice will be yours if you get the question correct. You can decide which one you want. If you get the Slab, I will be mailing that out to you tonight via priority. And then if you get the gift certificate, I don't even know how this works. I guess there's a serial number. Hopefully you guys didn't see that, but maybe there's a serial number on here. And what I'll have you guys do, if you win, you basically send me an email to regiecollects@gmail.com. You tell me which one you want, and then we'll figure out the rest from there. Which one you want. If you want the book, I need your address and your full name and all that kind of stuff. So there you go. That is how we're going to do it. All right. So what? All right. So here we go. Here is Chris Barrett remembers the last time we did this. Well done, Chris Barrett. Well done, sir. All right. So here's the thing. I'm a big fan of giving things to people that actually watch videos, right? That watch the content on the channel, because I just think it's a nice way to say thank you to those people. So here's the thing. Well, first of all, let me say that lag is a real thing. Lag is a real thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the first correct response that I actually see. All right, which could be different from the response that you actually see. But here we go. The giveaway is this. Earlier today, I released a video, and in that video, I basically defined the comic book market as having 4 sectors. What were those 4 sectors? Give me all 4 sectors in one response, and you will be deemed the winner of the 3204 auctions giveaway. What are the 4 sectors, 4 sectors that I talked about in the video earlier today that comprise the comic book market? All right. New, old, statue, and art is the very first. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, somebody. There we go. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me make sure that that's the first one. No, let me make sure. I have to make sure. So the very first one that I see, Comic Book 62 is like, I love your shows regardless of the giveaway. All right, so here we go. The very first answer that I see is from my man Grant, and his is new comic books, old comic books, original art, and toys. Grant, you, sir, are the winner. You, sir, are the winner of the 3204 auctions giveaway. You have your choice of either a gift certificate redeemable at their eBay store, 3204auctions.com, or a cool Walking Dead slab. So tell me, brother, which one do you want, and we will get this bundled up and get it sent out to you. All right, so you don't have to answer here. You can answer here if you want, or you can answer in the email that you send me. Either way, if you guys tune in tomorrow, if I do a live stream of the books back on the wall, you clearly knew he chose the gift certificate. Oh, man. Sorry, brother. I apologize to you. He says, I haven't had a chance to watch the video yet. Chris Barrett's still trying to guess the answer from the contest. I think probably 20 contests ago. He's still trying to get it. And was it 8 pounds 6 ounces, or was it 7 pounds 6 ounces? 7 pounds 6 ounces was the weight of my child, so it was probably 8 pounds 6 ounces. So, what we do know, well, so you'll have to stay tuned. You'll have to stay tuned because what what Jerry over at 3204 Auctions has given me is he's actually giving me a grand total of let me make sure I get this right. He's given me a total of 3 gift certificates, 3 great gift certificates, and 2 slabs. I'm not going to show you what this book is. And 3 slabs, or no, 2 slabs, sorry. So 3 gift certificates and 3 slabs is what Jerry has given me. And so we're going to spread it out. We're going to spread the love out the same way we do the Go Collect giveaways, like, you know, periodically. We're going to do these giveaways for Jerry in much the same manner. So we'll have to spread it out. You guys have to stay tuned. Keep watching the videos because you never know. You never know where something's slabs all day. I'm telling you, we give away slabs. We give away some dope books, dope giveaways. And it's all because, again, you guys watch the videos, you guys tune in, you guys comment, and it puts me in a position to be able to have conversations with people, to be able to get stuff to give back to you guys. So that's, again, part of the reason why I am always trying to reward people for watching the videos, because it's by watching the videos that it puts me in a position to do this kind of stuff. So shout out to everyone for participating. So scrolling down through the comments here, Mother Goose. That is, have I seen that name before? Mother Goose. Welcome to the live stream. Sparky got it right. 1G. That's what's up. That's how you spell it. I don't have. Someone emailed me earlier today asking if I had a spare Amazing Spider-Man 110, and I don't. I have 2. I have 1 raw and 1 graded. Those are all the ASM that I have, and I'm actually trying to I'm actually thinking about trying to get some additional Amazing Spider-Man 110 so I can actually do some giveaways on the channel. My thing is I'm trying to buy them offline versus online, because I don't want to you know, have anyone perceive me as trying to manipulate the market or anything like that. So that's why I'm trying to buy them offline if I can find them versus online. So we'll see. I actually have somebody that has reached out to me that says they are going to, I think, a show or something like that. They're going to try to keep their eyes open for me. So I do want to buy a couple, because I'd like to give a couple away, but I don't want to, like I said, be seen as potentially manipulating the market in any way, because that's not how we roll here. So again, huge shout out to my man Grant for winning this first giveaway, and he'll have to let me know whether he decides if he wants the book or the gift certificates. If he goes with the gift certificates, I'll be putting this comic back on the wall. You can see the missing spot. If he takes the book, I don't know that I have another non-Marvel book to put in its place. So I'm sort of hoping that that's my non-Marvel wall back there. And I'm telling you, it was a stretch to try to find. It was a stretch. So I may have to just leave that spot blank if he decides that he wants to take this book right here, which is what the other thing was. So it's either a gift certificate or a Walking Dead free comic book day. So there you go. All right. So with that, I'm going to wrap this thing up. If you guys, L. Smith, giving away. Everyone go on the hunt for ASM 110s. I'm telling you, it will be awesome to have a couple of extra copies. Oh, you know what I didn't announce to you guys? I put it on the community tab, but I didn't announce it here. I am going to try to do Garage Con. I'm going to try to do Garage Con. For those that don't know what Garage Con is, it's where I sell books out of my garage. That is Garage Con. I had somebody reach out to me and they were like, is that the comic shop over near I was like, no, that's my garage. So I'm going to try to do Garage Con. And what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about one either Saturday or Sunday, maybe in November. I need to look at my travel schedule. But I'm thinking about like one morning for a couple of hours, opening the garage up and basically just selling a couple of books out of the garage. And what I'm probably honestly going to do is to have a bunch of dollar books, maybe some slabs, maybe some surprises, right? Maybe I'll hide a couple of cool books in the dollar books. But I thought it would be a good opportunity because a lot of people have reached out to me and they're like, are you coming to this con? Are you coming to that con? It'd be nice to meet you, that kind of thing. So part of it is I have a surplus of books from like collections, books that I don't really want, that are kind of sort of taking up space. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll pass them back for like $1 to somebody to give me an opportunity to meet some people that I otherwise wouldn't have a chance to meet. So it serves a couple of purposes, you know, and every time I talk to someone, whether it be online or offline, I always learn a little bit. And by talking to people, I learn a little bit that actually allows me to create more content for folks, right? Because I hear what they're saying and I learn from them and I hear the questions that they're asking. And then I'm able to create content from those interactions. And so by having the face-to-face conversations in a casual setting, it affords me an opportunity to create new content. So that's part of it. You know, the books, man, the books, you know, we'll see whether there's money to be made, right? But it should be a fun time. So Garage Con will probably be happening if you are in the San Francisco Bay Area. Stay tuned, and I'll provide you guys more details. I want to give a huge shout out to a couple of people. Joa, huge shout out to him. Alan, Tina, and Jeremy. Those are some of the folks that have actually placed orders for t-shirts. So we are doing a new t-shirt order here. It is the Comic Book Swolja t-shirt. Show it to you guys real quick as I get ready to wrap this thing up. This is the design that was actually done by Scott. And we are doing small all the way up to all the way up to 3XL, small all the way up to 3XL. The prices and all that good stuff are on the community tab. They go from $25 up to I think $28. The details are on the community tab with like all the directions and all that good stuff. So if folks are interested in that, you want to try to pick those up. I think I'm actually going to try to wrap it up before the end of the month, so like 9 more days or something like that. So relatively quick turnaround if you guys are interested. All right. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this live stream up. I see some connections being made in here. So I'll stall for just a little bit so you guys can kind of complete your discussion there. But I see some love being spread. He's like, as soon as you include real big boy shirts. So here's a challenge. The challenge with either the larger sizes or the smaller sizes is that to do them, it requires me to actually do two screen prints, right? And so that actually doubles my cost to do it. And I'm a little worried about the small shirts because the screen print that I've made is basically 11 inches wide. And so that's a lot of the front of a shirt for a small person. It might be overwhelming. And so on the other side, if you go too big with the shirt, then the screen looks too small. And so I'm constantly trying to balance the aesthetic look of it versus my desire isn't to cut anyone off, but my desire is to make sure that people, when they get a shirt, that the proportions actually make sense. So that's part of it right there. So hopefully folks kind of get that. And I always like to kind of explain why I'm doing some of the things that I'm doing. So hopefully that helps. But certainly if you guys are the sleeve, they are breakaway sleeves. They are breakaway sleeves. All you do is just give them a little tug. They fall away. I am actually going to be testing out what they call a muscle tank shirt. I'm going to be testing those out. I'm actually going to get a couple of them made for myself. I'm going to wear them for a couple of weeks, wash them, dry them, that kind of stuff to see how they hold up. Because the last thing I want to do is to get something, send it out to you guys, and it doesn't live up to expectations. So I want to get it. I want to test them out. And what's crazy is that the muscle tanks are actually more expensive than the t-shirts. And so less fabric, but more expensive. So I'm not quite sure how that makes sense. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me a little bit. Grant, huge shout out to you, brother, for being the first winner of the 3204 auction giveaway. Stay tuned because we're going to be doing this again. As I showed, we have a couple of books, we have a couple of gift certificates. So we're definitely going to be doing this on a rolling basis. I hope that you guys will take some time to check out 3204's their CGC 9.8 subscription service. It is a cool service. It is a cool way to be able to pick up some comics, get them at 9.8, and to get them for a fair price. If you guys need to reach out to me, feel free to do so. Reggie Collects on Instagram and reggiecollects@gmail.com. If you need me, I am not too hard to find. Take care.